some of there's Vietnam. This one is very famous picture.
All right. Anyway.
Let's go.
Let's go. Right. We will definitely look at that later. Anyway. Hello, one and all. My name is John Clare. This is
Roman Trush. Can you put your headset on?
Oh. My sincerest apologies.
There you go. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Professional.
Hey.
Okay. Hello. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Hello, one and all. My name is John Clare. This is
Roman Trush.
And this is the Post Watch Post Mortem. And we have just come from watching The Secret Life of Walter Mitty on Disney Plus, and I must say I rather enjoyed that film.
Yeah, starring Ben Stiller and Kristen Wiig and Sean Penn, and directed by Ben Stiller.
Yeah. I think that was quite a heartwarming, interesting story.
It's a good movie. Yeah?
I thought I enjoyed it. You know, I mean, I don't usually do it straight away, but I just thought when we were looking up beforehand, I thought it was quite interesting, right? You go on tomatoes and you look at your reviews, right? The tomato meter shows it rotten at 52%.
So for them, it's bad.
Yeah, for them, it's bad. That's the critic score. The audience score is 71%.
It's not connecting.
Yeah, I think that's quite interesting because, like, I don't know. You know something? I don't actually know what critics fucking look for now.
Like, yeah, you have only like 3.5 stars on MPB, for example. Rating is 7.3.
That's
as much as we see the Love and Thunder or stuff like that.
And Love and Thunder is not even close to being a good film.
No.
And this is actually a well-crafted, well-edited.
The image is beautiful. The special effects are beautiful as well.
Yeah.
The acting is like
I love how Ben Stiller is completely understated. Even though his character goes on a hell of a fucking character arc.
Yeah.
Right.
He went from just the quiet guy who just sometimes dream a little bit too big.
Yeah, basically, what you got.
He lost his mind. He like zone out.
He daydreams. And the things what I thought was quite interesting about the character of Walter Mitty, like and I can kind of identify it because I'm like the character of Walter Mitty is 42 years old at the time of filming.
Yeah.
Right, well, not at that time of film, but within the story, the story within the narrative, he's 42 years old. All right, so am I, funnily enough, and I think this is a sort of film that gives like middle-aged geezers like me a kind of hope that life isn't over just yet. You can if you are in.
It's not because you're 30, 40, or 50 that your life is over.
Your life doesn't. Look this way. The only time your life is definitely over is when you're pushing up daisies, mate. When someone closes a casket over you, then your life's done. Until such time, make the most of it. And yeah, I think it's quite a nice movie, man. I mean, it's really uplifting. It's like I said, really well crafted. Like a beautiful film. I mean, we looked up the budget as well. And another thing we go on about quite a lot. I definitely go on about quite a lot. It's the budget. The budget is $90 million. Again, less than 40% of the budget of Thor: Love and Thunder, and it looks beautiful. The shots work, even the special effects, they work. The CGI works, everything. And the film came out in 2013, and it looks so much better.
Have you seen the critic thing in Rotten Tomato? It doesn't like or for ambition, but The Secret Life of Walter Mitty failed to back up the grand design with enough substance to anchor the spectacle. Basically, it's like it's boring.
I disagree with that.
It's still like
I actually disagree with it completely.
That's like they didn't watch the movie. That's not possible.
Dude, I've just realised something.
What?
I don't know. Sorry.
What was it? What do you realise?
Are those lights supposed to be on or
off? Those channels are off, but ours are on.
Oh, okay.
You see the one with the microphone that's facing it?
Yeah.
Basically, those channels are on. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear yourself.
Okay, fair enough.
So don't worry.
Okay.
That's why we have the headset, a thing like that. If there is a problem, you don't fuck. We stop recording or we stop thing. You will hear if you stop recording.
I see. So, I mean, I'm just showing my technical ignorance of our new equipment.
It's okay. It's fine.
But anyway, as we were saying, I think I disagree with that sentiment entirely because I think that film is
exciting.
At times it's exciting. At times it's quite heartfelt. I think that I sometimes think that critics I think it depends on what it is, right? If I don't know, I don't know. I just think mainstream critics are just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't quite put my fingers on it. But the dissonance that sometimes happens between critics. Sometimes I think it's justified. But I don't know. I just think they've been too harsh on this film. I think maybe what it is they can see the ambition that the film held. Yeah, and they're judging it on a much higher level than, say, something like Thor: Love and Thunder. Which is
it's a small scale. It's about people.
Yeah.
In the end of the movie, it's about people.
Yeah.
It's not like the last picture, because this movie they're looking for the negative, the picture number 25, and it's been lost. And the character of Walter Mitty have to find that picture because it's the last issue. It's going to be the front page of the last issue of the magazine before it go full digital.
Yeah.
And he has to you go through the world to find the photographer who did the picture and ask him, what did you do of the negative 25, the picture number 25.
And the funny thing is, he had it in his possession mostly the whole time.
That's a spoiler there. I didn't want to tell you that, but that's such a great twist.
Yeah, it is a nice twist.
Yeah, it's just, I told you to look inside. Like, of course, when you were there with him, like, look inside of
he took
the
literal meaning, not the actual, like, look inside the wallet or look inside yourself or anything like that.
Yeah. It's like, fuck. And the last cover is not a great picture. It's not the unicorn. It's not the Bigfoot. The cover is not. It's got the guy in the elevator. Is like, did you watch
the ghost cat?
The ghost cat, yeah. Right, the ghost cat, the leopard, yeah. They never took a picture of, actually. Yeah. But the guy, his colleague in the elevator, said, "So did you see the picture? Was it the unicorn, the Bigfoot?" Or yeah. And we'll never know. But like, it was just actually him walking in the magazine thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like dedicated to the people who made us what we were, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, is it a little bit sentimental? Yes, but fuck it, I like it.
Look,
do you know what I mean?
All people love it, all people hate it, because look at that comment there. What beautiful cinematography, but that's all that has going for it.
Oof.
That's so mean.
Oh,
Steeler attempt to
my bollocks together. Are recoiling inside my pelvis right now. Wow, that was a bit harsh.
This one is like, still an attempt to braid together introspection and humor kept me engaged and curious, even when I wasn't quite sure he was sitting out to do. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, well, I think what the film is, it basically...
Terrible rigging, sorry about that.
No, you're fine, you're doing well. No, I think basically what it is, it sets up a mystery. Right, and they even talk about it at the start because was it Christine Wiig's character talks about how like they do murder mysteries.
She loves murder mysteries. Yeah,
she loves murder mysteries, and how what they do is they put the through line together and they scatter the parts, and and then you.
It's a smart movie.
Yeah.
And if you don't analyze the movie, you just miss about everything. But I think people were not thinking about that movie enough. So like at some point you go to Papa John and people don't pay attention. It's like, why is it go to Papa John? It's boring. I don't like it. No, it's not boring because it was working at Papa John. We saw a picture of it when his dad left, when his dad died. So it was important for him. I think the people who hate that movie just don't know how to watch. No, don't know how to watch movies.
No, things I don't want to be too judgmental on the audience because I think the big problem is like, I mean, it's very easy for us. And I would say, ivory tower, but I wouldn't exactly go that far. But it's very easy for us to turn around and start judging people who don't understand the movie, who don't understand filmmaking, blah blah blah. I mean, I don't want to get this kind of like sense of superiority over like my fellow moviegoers. I think what it is like if you're watching the movie, like it's one of those movies that if you watch and you pay attention to what's going on, you'll be rewarded.
Yeah, of course.
But if you don't. If it's not what you're looking for in a film, like some people just don't want that. They don't want to be fucking sitting down and like trying to like pay attention to all. But
it's a beautiful movie. The music are beautiful. The moments are beautiful.
No, you are absolutely right. I'm not arguing that point with you at all. I think it is a beautiful movie. I think some of the transitions are wonderful. There's one really nice transition at the start of the film where
there's a lot of nice transition.
Yeah, but the one in particular the one that kind of stood out to me because it was the first one that I really noticed. Was like you're looking down at a film negative of water, and next thing you see the water move, and then you see the waterfall come matching over the edge. It just like matches up perfectly, and then you see like Walter Mitty, Ben Stiller's character sitting on the edge And it's just a beautifully composed shot and transition. And there's a lot of that. There's another shot where where the plane takes off from Iceland and lands in New York. Just like lots of little really beautifully crafted touches. And I think this is a movie that has great craft. It's beautifully put together, beautifully shot.
Take his time.
Yeah, it takes its time. There's a little bit of action as well.
At the beginning, a little bit crazy action.
Yeah, like where he fucking like they have to outrun a volcano and
No, I'm talking about the beginning when he basically went through the window of an apartment to save like a three-legged dog of an explosion of an apartment. Like
that's because
or the fight scene when they're like fighting for the stretching monster thing. Yeah,
that's true. Like the great thing about what it does is like the thing is that these are the daydreams that the Walter Mitty character has, but he has fewer and fewer of them as the movie progresses, because what he's doing is rather than living in his head, he's living his life.
Yeah,
right. And I think again, it's a wonderful little storytelling device. It's like, because we could all be guilty of doing it. I could definitely say the same thing for myself, like, living in your head, like imagining the things you'd love to be able to do, but you can't because of your job or because of your life or whatever situation you find yourself in. So I think it does a wonderful job of like setting that up, where like he's in the first few daydreaming experiences are these kind of like wild, outlandish movie style.
Yes, superhero kind of things. Yeah,
it's like at the first shot where he jumps from the train station through the window. That reminded me of Jason Bourne.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the same shot. It's actually the same shot.
Yeah.
So there's like a history of cinema. So the cameraman. So it's a shot that the actor is jumping to a window.
Yeah.
And the cameraman is jumping also to the same window. So you have that shot of the guy jumping and you jumping with him. And it's a great shot. It's a great shot.
Yeah. That's the thing is I appreciate that. It's like, because the previous film we watched, Thor: Love and Thunder, right, which we didn't like. And the thing is, the one thing I was saying throughout that podcast was there was $250 million spent and it looked cheap. This film, they spent $90 million and it looks like fucking twice the budget.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It looks fucking fantastic.
It didn't get love that deserved. Like,
no, it clearly doesn't. So hopefully, maybe in our own little way, we'll help with.
We kind of spoiled it a bit, but like you should watch Mitty.
Mate, it's on Disney Plus. The film's 10 years old. Fuck spoiler warnings.
Yeah,
seriously.
I know, but like, like if you don't expect anything, I'm just telling. Yeah, I went there without expecting anything when I went to cinema with my mother to watch that movie. And I was extremely surprised. I was in love with it.
Oh, where's that camera that you bought because of that film?
Huh?
Where's the camera that you bought because of that film?
Right there.
Oh, is that it? The Pentax?
That's a Pentax camera.
Oh, let's get it.
Because of that movie, yeah. That's my Pentax film camera that I'm not using at the moment. I should maybe get some film into it. There's some film in it. But it's a film camera. And for people, like, they don't see the point of it. What's the point? We have digital, we have phone now.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, like when you think about a lot of these things, it's like, because also another thing that film also talks about, because it was done because the film came out in 2013. So this is the age when like Instagram is really taking off, when social media is really becoming part of the
magazine
mainstream.
Now thing down to digital now.
Yeah, so everything's going online, everything's on your phone. So the great thing about it is what it does is it shows how people do get left behind. Do you know what I mean? They end up, if you aren't able to make that transition, like, then it's quite. I think this film is quite melancholic. I think it's quite sweet.
It's sweet. It's a bittersweet kind of ending because he didn't win. He basically he lost his job. They both lost their job.
Yeah,
but they found each other, which is great.
Which is very sweet.
Very sweet. I like those bittersweet ending. I love it. Like there's two types of people.
I'm romantic by nature.
There's a movie that I really love, and I think that they should deserve more love from people, and people should praise them for what they give to you. Like some movie give you something, and Walter Mitty is one of those movies that give you something.
Yeah, I mean, I think things with art, right? Not all art is appreciated in the time it's released.
No, true.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, for instance, a great example, my favourite artist, Caravaggio. It was not until relatively recently, until probably like the 1970s or 80s, that, Caravaggio really got seen as as one of the greatest artists who ever lived.
And Van Gogh as well.
Van Gogh. And during his lifetime, he sold one fucking painting.
Yeah.
One.
It was not appreciated.
And now, in back, was it 1989 or something silly like that? Nakamura Bank, they spent like $90 million on sunflowers, or one of his sunflower paintings.
The sunflower.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like you've got, not all artists and not all art is appreciated at the time. And I think this is a good movie. It's a beautiful movie. No, it's not just a good movie. I'd say it's a really fucking good movie. I really enjoyed it.
It gave you something.
Yeah.
Like Love and Thunder didn't give me anything.
No, it's bubblegum.
It's bubblegum.
You chew it up and you spit it out.
It's a roller coaster, and you've just finished the ride.
Yeah, and it's not.
This was a journey. This was a journey.
Yeah. That's actually true. Because
this movie was a journey.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it rewards. That's the thing. Is like it does reward you for paying attention.
Yes, if you pay attention, all the movie makes sense. Yeah, makes so much sense once you say like, oh, sometimes the clues are just in front of you. Like that. And literally all the clues are in front of him all the time, which is a bit like but it's magic in the movie. Like, it's like it is a bit of a like cinematography magic. Like the guy is like it's always at the right time at the perfect moment.
Well, that's the thing though. I mean, like, and what one of the things I think was really beautiful about it is like, okay, you may not. If
you pay attention, you can see that the sister at the beginning give her this orange cake. Everything is important.
Yes.
And if you don't pay attention, you left out. It's a movie about Gary zoning out. But if you zone out at the beginning of the movie, you lost the movie. The movie is lost. You didn't catch anything. You didn't catch a train.
Exactly. And none of that is like. Because at the start of the movie he zones out and he doesn't catch the train.
He doesn't catch the train. Yeah,
right. He zones out.
The movie's telling you if you zone out, now you miss the train.
Yeah, you don't just miss the train; you miss your life.
Yeah, you miss. This means that's a beautiful experience because even if you watch through the 2 hours and you don't care or watch your phone stuff like that, that's a movie that you cannot like. You have to appreciate it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely appreciate it. I think I don't agree, like some of the criticism we saw there. I definitely don't fucking agree with at all because not
entertaining. What kind of movie they were expecting?
I don't know. I mean, again, I don't want to be.
Maybe the trailer was not helping as well because the trailer was very action oriented, and they were showing they're showing like an adventure action kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I mean, this is the problem. This is the problem with marketing departments. What they do? They put all the big fucking money shots in and give people the wrong ideas, and then they go in and they end up getting disappointed. Shock fucking horror.
Never watch trailers.
Fuck trailers.
If you want to watch a movie, watch it. If you don't want to watch a movie, don't watch it.
Or better still, like, look, if you go in to watch a movie, yeah, like, and if there's something about whether it's the title, whether it's the movie poster, whether it's
and sometimes you're wrong.
Synopsis.
So many times I went to cinema expecting a shitty movie, and I was wrong.
Yeah,
like so many times. Like it's like my mom. Like basically, my mom forced me to watch that movie. Like, oh, let's go watch this one. Stuff like that. Oh, come on, like I didn't want to go. Stuff like that. I was 18 at the time. Like I don't care. And yeah, this movie opened up about photography and stuff. Like I was very into photography before, but this movie kind of. I didn't bought this camera after I watched the movie because I always wanted to have the same camera of the guy of the thing.
Right.
That was too expensive for me. But what I had was a Polaroid, a Fujifilm Polaroid, and I have shoe boxes full of Polaroid images that I did during Galway.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the time I was in Galway from 2013, 2016. And I give some of those away. Some of those that I give them away, like I always do that. I grab a Polaroid, I take some picture, and then give them away. I don't care.
That's awesome.
I just basically, yeah. And I keep some of those, like I always keep some or just a thing. But like I took so many pictures. That movie really inspired me, like to go out, take pictures of that. And I enjoyed this 3 years of my life, like doing pictures of that. And I kind of lost that now as well.
Because of
COVID and everything. Like
COVID sucked.
But
the thing is, like, it's quite. I think it's quite nice that film inspired you to kind of further your craft.
Yeah, it put me kind of not further my craft. I was not furthering at that point in time. I was not furthering my craft. I was just going out and do something.
Yeah,
it's just like it was
for
not
the fun and enjoyment of doing it.
Fun and enjoyment of it. I was not going to be the new Cartier-Bresson or the new thing, but I just wanted to go out and take a picture.
Yeah,
and you know what? I don't care if I lost the picture. I give it away to someone. I don't care.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this one would be happy to have it somewhere, or even if he's lost it, I don't care either.
Yeah.
It's just like I was the moment is more important than the picture. But like I kind of lost that a little bit.
Well, I think when you like saying that though, I mean, I can definitely identify with that because like there was a period in my 20s, for most of my 20s where I didn't really draw, didn't really make any art, and it was something. It was one of those things like I really should do it, I really should do it, I really should do it, and then eventually I got back into doing it again. And then there's that kind of natural ebb and flow where with things like when I was a kid, I drew for the sake of drawing. You know, I mean, it was what I was passionate and what I love doing. And it still is now to this day. I mean, it's what I'm good at. It's what I'm passionate about. I mean, I love photography too, but I wouldn't say to the same degree you do. But I do, I love taking good pictures. I took some really nice photos of New York. I mean,
yeah, I love my trip in Lisbon. It's one of my best pictures as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so also like some of the photos when I first moved to Ireland, I did a lot of time lapses as well. I love doing time lapses. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to photography, like, yeah, it's wonderful that there's, the film itself like shows an appreciation for photography because it's beautifully shot.
Yeah,
it's so wonderfully shot. It looks fantastic all the way through.
Sounds fantastic. The
great soundtrack as well.
The soundtrack
really good soundtrack.
Was made by an artist that I love. First time I heard this song, it was in a video game, Red Dead Redemption, and everybody talk about that song when it came out.
Oh yeah, because it was like when you first went from New Austin into Mexico. Yeah.
And this song play, and basically nothing is talking. It's just your horse walking, and that song playing, and it's not scripted. It's basically you can do whatever you want in that moment. But because the music is there, you just listen to the music and walk. And you just like take your time for the first time, and you go through the messes. And this song is like following you around, like far away from. Far away song, and I think it's far away.
We can't actually play it because of YouTube.
So far away.
Yeah, careful, mate.
Copyright. So far away.
Okay, we won't go any more than that because we don't want to get copyright strikes.
So the artist, no, it's not this one. I lost it. Runaway Train. It's not so far away. It's Runaway Train.
Runaway Train.
Run away train.
Okay, sorry about this little pause.
Oh no, yeah, sorry about that. No, it's not the song. It's not the name of the song.
Look, what I'll do is, I'll tell you what I'll do. Right, I'm gonna put at this point here now.
It's a beautiful artist.
I'm going to print up the name and go on Spotify and go check it out for yourself.
It's a beautiful artist. It's a beautiful artist. He did a song during COVID as well. There was an ad on YouTube as well.
Was it?
It was an ad on YouTube. It was in his own language. It's speaking Spanish. I think he's Mexican or Spanish.
Yeah.
And basically, it was one of the ads on YouTube. And basically, I'd say it's just like stop. It's like, is that an ad? No, it's not. It's just like the full clip of the song.
Oh yeah, some artists do that, don't they?
Yeah, and it was a beautiful song, and I can't remember the name of the song, but at the end, it's just like it seemed like in his house, sitting down. At some point, just like the music stopped, and what you can hear is like bird laying in the nest, like chipping and stuff like that. And some people, are like it's beautiful, and I'm way too romantic, and I think people are.
He is.
I think that people are not romantic enough.
You know what? I think my big problem is I'm probably a little bit too cynical.
Yeah, in this world, like people are thinking about, like they're thinking too much about themselves, I think. And it's good to think about yourself, but just forget about everybody else, and not just I don't know. I see, like, just
take your time.
I don't know. As like continue to talk, like, go on.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Just fill that up.
But look, Roman is a very sweet, very romantic dude. Whereas I'm not quite so much.
Oh, you are. You don't want to tell.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely one of these like. I'm definitely like hard. Yeah, wasn't my ex-girlfriend called me? I was a mento, hard on the outside, soft on the inside.
The song is by I got it just there, but like it's coming back by Jose Gonzalez.
Jose Gonzalez,
and it's Far Away. Far Away.
It's a beautiful tune.
Beautiful tune.
Okay, so now you know it. It's Jose Gonzalez, Far Away. Check it out. It's
and put it on while you, I don't know, it's a beautiful song to do when you're driving or, you're like walking along the street with the trees and everything. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah, gorgeous song. But anyway, he put some tunes towards this the soundtrack.
I think he's the he was in charge of the. He worked on the soundtrack of the.
Okay,
it's right there. Yeah, Stay Alive. Is it Stay Alive? No, 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 no.
Okay.
And it did this tune for the music for the movie. There's a lot of music about the movie. There's a lot of music in the movie.
Yeah.
There's very important moments that actually make me wanted to learn the song that she was playing. Major Tom.
Oh yeah, ground control to Major Tom.
We're gonna get cancelled. No, not cancelled.
David Bowie is a legend.
Yeah.
God bless that man.
We gotta get.
May he long be remembered.
No, is it not cancelled? I mean, demonetize.
Yeah, we don't. Well, we're not earning any money on it at the moment, anyway.
No, so it's good.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful film. I think. I mean, it's beautifully put together. Great soundtrack.
It's funny.
It's funny in places. It's heartwarming in places. Again, I really like Ben Stiller's performance. I think he's like, from beginning to end. Because normally, like Ben Stiller is a bit zany and a bit mad, right? Tropic Thunder, Zoolander, all those kinds.
Oh,
of
those
films.
are extremely caricatural role that you.
Yeah, he's a very physical actor usually. Do you know what I mean?
But he played more subtle acting in that movie.
Yeah, he's very dialed back.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's directing himself, because he's the director of the film also, which surprised me quite a lot, because, again, the craft in the film is exemplary. The craft in the film is absolutely exemplary. Like, like I said, the transitions, the shots, again, when we're criticising Thor, Love and Thunder, the color grading was fucking all over the shop. It was so fucking inconsistent with this film because it has a clear vision. And I think one thing about a film like this absolutely crystallizes to me is that, when someone has a clear vision for what they want to execute, whether you like it or you don't, I mean, art is subjective at the end of the day, but hold on a sec. Whether you like it or not, right, is irrelevant. Art is subjective. But when someone has a clear vision and everyone's united behind that vision, right? And you near as damn it execute on what you're intending to execute on, you get films like the Secret Life of Walter Mitty. When you've got someone who doesn't really know what's going on, has all the money in the world and can do whatever they bloody hell want and fix everything in post, you get messes like Thor, Love and Thunder. And at the end of the day, spending stupid money on movies doesn't mean you're going to get a good movie. This movie, don't get me wrong, it had a pretty big budget at $90 million.
Yeah, it's not a small movie whatsoever.
It's not a small movie. But you can tell that, like, when everyone knows what's going on, like, it looks the part. It absolutely looks the part, It's got, like, everything's very subdued. Everything, like, even when, like, early on in the movie, like when he's walking to work, when he's going through the building and everything else, and there's this kind of like blue tinge, kind of slightly desaturated look to the film, and then it maintains it all the way through, and then but the thing is, it still has this kind of visual imagination. That some of the shot selection is absolutely amazing. Some of the transitions are absolutely amazing.
Some of the idea of shot, for example, he has to come back to America from Afghanistan. And he has to go back to the custom, like to the American. And instead of going to show like him going into the custom, they just like do very abstract thing and just saw the X-ray machine, the screen. And it's a very funny scene. It's almost like a mime. It's like there's no voice, but you can understand all of the things that's going on.
Yeah,
and it's like basically a little mime. It's 2D, so there's no like it's just flat thing, and it's basically a shadow. It's just a shadow act. It's like miming.
Yeah,
miming,
but it's all done for an X-ray machine. It's fucking class.
It's a cool shot.
It's like got real imagination about it. I mean, that's the thing. Is like cinema when you execute on cinema, when you put all those pieces together, like performances, script writing. I think the script is pretty tight as well. Like because there's it drops in these like really clever little clues, like we were talking about earlier on with Kristen Wiig's character. I thought Kristen Wiig was really good in it as well.
The bad guy, the
love interest.
Ah, yes, she was lovely.
I thought she was great in it. Again,
she's like it's like that's what I found pretty. Like You know, yeah, I love the character as well. Like, it's okay. It's fine. Go on.
Sorry, I've been told by so many people I should stop vaping in this fucking podcast.
It's okay. It's fine. Oh, I was not talking about the vape. I was like me. I was like zoning.
Oh,
out as well.
you're daydreaming about Christina Wigg.
Yeah. She's great.
She's a very attractive woman. Gotta say it.
But she's beautiful and not like pretty. Like, I mean,
she's pretty.
She's pretty, but like,
what you're saying is like she's not this kind of hyper fucking beautiful,
exactly
unobtainable sort. She's got a very kind of obtainable attractiveness.
Human, like just
sorry, obtainable is probably the wrong term.
Yeah,
she's got she's got a very kind of believable human attractiveness about her.
She's real.
Yeah, exactly. There's a believability about her.
Those characters look real.
Yeah, they, even with Ben Stiller's character. I mean, Ben Stiller's, he's a handsome man. As we said, very handsome man. But the thing is, like, even then, because he's probably not like he's not like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, like 6 foot fucking 25
like,
and fucking 300.
Thor like Chris
Hemsworth. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Chris Hemsworth has got a fantastic body, and he's got every right to show it off. He's worked bloody hard for it. But at the same time, like, you look at he's an handsome dude, but at the same time, there isn't this kind of like unrealistic expectations for any of the characters. No one looks hyper beautiful. No one looks like, although there is kind of a dreamlike quality to it, it doesn't look like, it's not one of these kind of stupid, like say Friends, the TV series.
Where everybody's beautiful.
Where everyone's pretty, everyone's funny.
Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy. But
the point with Friends is everyone's beautiful, everyone's funny.
New York is such a great town.
Yeah. Everyone lives in massive apartments while doing low-paid jobs. Like what's her name? Jennifer Aniston's character, Rachel. She was basically, for the most part, she was either a crap barista or a bad sales attendant.
Another one is a chef.
Yeah. Like, they're not exactly what you call, like, these are the sorts of jobs where, like, let's be straight, you're not earning like $30, $40, $50 an hour or euros an hour, pounds an hour. You're earning, if you're lucky, 15, and you don't afford like big apartments
with glass window on the roof of New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no.
You don't. You
like massive, like
like pane glass, like massive windows, or what you. If you're lucky, you could afford a fucking like shoebox apartment at the basement of a fucking laundromat.
Yeah,
So, when you. So yeah, there's a kind of a believability to the characters, and although some of the situations are quite fantastical, like what I like about it is that, I mean, let's be honest, like if you suddenly decided for your work to jump on a plane to go to Greenland and then find yourself fighting off a shark in the ocean and then having to go to Iceland and skating down a road and outrunning a volcano and then going to Afghanistan to find a photographer taking a photo of a fucking snow leopard. These are not necessarily believable situations, but at the same time, there's a humanity in a kind of not groundedness, but yeah, there's a humanity in a lot of the characters and what they're doing.
But there is some character like this. There is some explorer like this.
Yeah, but things like most of those explorer types generally tend to be quite wealthy individuals. Not working for even if you're working for a magazine, if you're whatever wage you would be earning in those kinds of positions, unless you had the backing of the magazine who are willing to fund you to go on these expeditions.
Yeah, that's how you do
you wouldn't be able to do it. So. Yeah, that's what I find really interesting about all of that. I mean, it's a fantastical story, and there's a lot of kind of, I wouldn't say silliness, but I would say like there's a kind of dreamlike quality.
Dreamy. Yeah. It's all about dream. It's a dreamy movie, like, yeah.
But I think what the movie tries to convey in the story that it's not so much the story, but the kind of sentiment that it's trying to convey is that, look, it doesn't matter what age you are, you can still get up and live your life.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. I mean, I still believe that. I mean, like, as I said earlier on, I'm the same age now as the character in the film. And do I believe, my life is I've lived my life has been lived up to this point, but do I still feel my life is yet to be lived? Yes, I do. I mean, I'm in that point where I still feel like I've got a lot to offer, and I think realizing that is probably the hard part, and getting to the point where you realize that, it's like self-actualization sort of thing. Like you get to the point where you realize that, and then you kind of start putting things into action, and eventually, I mean, you may not see it in a day, a week, or a month, but you will eventually see like the progression that your life has taken from like realizing like from realization to actualization, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. There's a lot of great moments. Like one of my favorite moments was when the two Sharpa guys. Well,
Yeah, when they're doing talking sign language, that's funny.
They cannot use the oxygen that they have, so they basically.
Essentially, what they were trying to communicate in this little like sign language conversation was
a shrine thing.
No, yeah, they got to a certain point, and it was like, "We're going this way, and you can go on alone." No, you guys come with me. No, you're going on your own.
It's like the shrine has a skull thing. Like maybe
Yeah,
they don't.
They're not going to go past that point because they don't want to die, which is understandable, really.
Yeah,
it's quite a treacherous journey. But yeah, I thought. Yeah, I think you're right. There's loads of these little kind of lovely little scenes in it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Seeing the review on Rotten Tomatoes just kind of depressed me a little bit.
Why should it?
Because it's like maybe some people didn't see the way the thing I see, like,
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, dude. I mean, like, what you got to appreciate is this, yeah? Like, again, art is subjective. Because like you find something beautiful and you resonate with it doesn't mean someone else is going to, and that's the wonderful thing about art. It's also one of the hard things to deal with about being a creative of any kind, because not everyone's going to like your photography.
No,
not everyone's going to like my photography. Not everyone's going to like my artwork. Some people, again, they may look at it. It's like, for instance, one of them was quite damning it with faint praise, saying, "Oh yeah, it looks good, but it doesn't."
It doesn't give anything.
Exactly. I mean, and that's like, ow. That's a bit brutal.
That's massively brutal. If I was Ben Stiller and I see that, it was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but I think that person probably looked at it, thought, "Oh, pretty, 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 pretty," but I'm getting pretty bored, and that's on them. I mean, it's down to the individual at the end of the day. It's not, I mean, we can espouse the virtues of this film all the live long day, and still have people come back to us and saying, well, we think you're fucking pretentious dickheads for liking this film. But also at the same time, people can come back to us and say, how can you dislike like Thor: Love and Thunder? It's brilliant. It's got loads of action.
It's the best movie of all time.
Yeah, exactly. It's Marvel. Of course it's good. Look, at the end of the day, you're going to like what you're going to like, and you're going to dislike what you're going to dislike. It's just, we've all got different tastes and points of view.
Just I was saying that this movie has something to give you if you pay attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you are willing to look for it.
Yeah.
Or just pay attention.
Yeah.
But like, it's not going to give you straight away on a platter. It's not going to show you flashback or try to explain you why this character is doing this or why this character is doing that or stuff like that. Like Love and Thunder, like every time there's fucking like, oh yes, he's it's like,
yeah, they're practically telling you everything that's going on. It's stupid.
Oh,
because like we're shooting these back to back, so we're just coming fresh off that, and it's still it sucks, but. But the wonderful thing about the Secret Life of Walter Mitty is that it does reward you. I mean, you do have to pay attention, though. You do. And if you don't pay attention, then you're going to miss out on a lot of it. And I think that's, and that kind of works both for and against the film. Because, yes, it does reward you for paying attention. But if you don't pay attention, or you're not the kind of person who's inclined to do that.
Or you're not into it.
Well, yeah, I mean, some people just want to go to a movie and shut their brain off and just, enjoy the visuals. That's what some people want from movies. They want a bit of escapism. They don't want to think, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not being disingenuous. I'm not trying to talk to people in the pejorative. It's just some people just have different requirements from entertainment, and that's just the way it is. And
a movie doesn't have to have like this one has a bit of action at the beginning.
Does, yeah,
but it's cancelled because this action never happened. Most of the time.
No, but the thing is that there was the same. In fairness, though, I mean, he did beat up, fight off a shark. It did take a helicopter ride.
He fought like the helicopter guy who was going to just cut him off with a shoe glass.
Yeah, broken glass. He was going to gouge out his eyeballs. And the same dude, while drunk, flew the helicopter that he was in. Then he jumps out, fights off a shark, gets rescued on a fishing boat.
No, was it say it's okay? It's a what? Did they say he was like one of those white dolphin things?
Oh no, it's okay. It's a porpoise. It might be friendly. It will fend off the sharks. And then the shark comes in. He's like, "It's not a fucking porpoise." And he starts bashing it with his metal briefcase. I thought, like, there's so many like class things about it. And the thing is also, like, And not only that, because it tells its story, a lot of its story visually. Like there's a lot of audio. There's a lot of like clues in what the characters are saying. Like we said a few times with Christina Wigg saying how much she likes murder mysteries, and this is a mystery.
It's a mystery, so she was intrigued by it.
Yeah, exactly. And she kind of helped him along a part of the way with the journey.
Same with the character of the website, the
douchebag executive.
No, the website, the dating website.
Oh yeah,
it was there for the beginning, and just like
and he meets him in the end, and like he actually bails about.
It's a guy that you don't see; it's just a phone ringing, and that guy say like, "Oh, by the way, what do you do?" Like like your page got like 20 winks in 2 hours. Like, where are you? What are you doing right now?
Yeah,
it's like
he's at the top of a mountain in Nepal.
I need to save oxygen. Okay.
Yeah. So like,
and just at that moment, the guy's like, "You mind? I'm working here." That's so lovely.
Yeah, and he bumps into the character, this Sean O'Connell character played by Sean Penn, the photographer, who basically what the mystery is essentially is like this photographer sends Walter Mitty, who's basically in charge of dealing with all the negatives for Life magazine, this reel of shots, and it was just one shot that was supposed to be on the cover of Life magazine. Right, but the thing is, it's missing, so he's got to find it, and that's when it all kicks off. That's when the film progresses.
The film starts when Walter Mitty don't know what to do. He doesn't know. The only clue he has is that the film is like the only clue is like an address in Greenland, and one thing he look at the picture of the guy, and the picture just start moving and just like
winking him,
just like
bringing him, come hither.
To like,
come
look
follow.
for me, look for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Go and look for me.
And that's when it all kicks off. I mean, and this whole mystery unravels as the film progresses. And I think, and again, like, some of it's hidden in text. Some of the clues are hidden in text. Some of the clues are hidden in dialogue. Some of the clues are hidden visually.
For example, there's a good way to talk about the character. Is like in the notes, like, oh, some of my pictures were like with a bit of blood because I got shot at the abdomen. Like, just like, what the fuck is that guy? Like,
exactly. He's like one of these adventurer photographers.
So get shot for the shot, like
exactly.
Shot for the shot.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's the thing, though. I mean, like, there's so much. There's again, if you pay attention to what's going on, the film will reward you. But if you're not paying attention, then that's on you.
Yeah, you're left alone.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I can understand why, like, coming away from it, you might feel a little bit hollow, and you might feel this was a bit of a,
I feel a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, I think some people would feel let down by it, but at the same time, I wasn't let down by it at all. I mean, I came away fucking.
I feel the same way when people don't like La La Land, for example.
I haven't seen La La Land yet.
I've seen. It's one of my favorite movies. And basically, I judge people by that. It's like, do you like La La Land? It's like, no, we're not going to be friends. Oh, you didn't watch it, so there's still a chance. So that's fine.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not the biggest fan of musicals.
It's not a musical. Literally, it's not a musical.
Okay, fair enough.
The beginning is a musical. The thing is, La La Land, it can put people off because it's very musical at the beginning, but it changed at the end. It just became more.
At some point, we will watch it for this podcast, and we'll definitely talk about it.
Yeah, okay.
But the thing is, like, that's the great thing about art, though. Like, art isn't. Like, I'm not going to say art isn't for everyone. I don't mean that. It's like not all art is for everyone. As in, something like the Secret Life of Walter Mitty isn't for everyone. And that's probably why it's got the critic score it did, which I think is bizarre. The audience score is actually quite high, at 71%, I believe it was.
December 2013. So it probably went with the other blockbusters,
like Christmas blockbusters,
Christmas blockbusters.
And that's the thing. I mean, like, with also what I've got to say about 20th Century Fox. I mean, now they're part of Disney, which is, is what it is, unfortunately. But because now Disney become this like massive conglomerate with, holding most of everybody's IP, which I think is bloody stupid. Like Disney, I mean, let's just say like Disney may have produced a lot of like animated movies, based on like IP that's available to everyone. And then made a load of money on it, and now they're hoarding IP left, right, and centre, which I think is bloody despicable. Like Disney are an evil corporation, but anyway, rant aside. The thing is, 20th Century Fox at one point they wanted to take a punt on movies, Do you know what I mean? They weren't necessarily. I mean, yeah, they had their, they owned the rights to Predator and other, they owned the rights to the Kingsman movies. They made the Kingsman movies.
Oh, the Simpson and everything.
Yeah, so they have, they had their commercial. But what they also did was they put some of that money into making films that were a little bit more esoteric and films a bit more like this. And like they made a lot of Wes Anderson movies, didn't they, as well? So like, they were willing to like back create, creative visions, and not some of these creative visions aren't for everybody. It is what it is. But at the same time, the fact that they're willing to do that, they're willing to not just like put their money where their mouth is, but help forward the art of cinema that little bit further. I think it's that should have been commended. But alas, now they are part of. Well, in fairness, though, I mean, like they kept. Another movie we watched recently, The Menu, that was from Searchlight Pictures, which is basically the new name for Fox. That was a bloody brilliant movie.
It was a brilliant movie as well.
Do you know what I mean? So, like,
there's still a good movie being made. It's just people are focused on Marvel and DC and fucking Fast and Furious. There's still a good movie being made, but we just don't talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's not so much that we don't talk about it. I think what it is, like, what you taking a photograph?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, go on.
1, 2, 3. There he goes. There.
There's two things I do when someone points a camera at me, even though I'm a photographer. I either throw out my middle finger or I give this the biggest, stupidest, retarded smile in the world.
It was too much of a short lens, so basically it was just his head, so no chance to give me a middle finger.
But anyway, yeah, the fact that there were movie studios out there willing to do that, and I think yeah, the problem is, right, when it comes to the zeitgeist, when it comes to like the commentary. The whole commentary thing around cinema, especially online, whether it's like on print, something like Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb, or it's something like various YouTube channels. Most of the auction gets taken up by these big tentpole releases, and understandably so, because that's the production companies and the studios. That what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the most asses on seats as they can. They want to get people into the theater, so they're the ones with the big. Those are the movies with the big marketing spends behind them in order to get them into the cinema. But the thing is, like, it kind of, I think we need to leave room available in the conversation for movies that aren't quite so popular, or that aren't quite so. That aren't drawing the eyeballs of people who are more interested in the likes of Fast and the Furious, or Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or whatever else. These massive IPs. And I think I think that's a really cool thing to do. Also, like 20th Century Fox, none of that. They backed new IPs. Like, I mean, look at the Kingsman franchise. I mean, the first movie I adore. The second movie I hate. The third one the King's Man. I'm a bit hemming and hawing about. I don't think it's nearly as good as the first one. The first one is a lightning in the bottle, brilliant film. The second one is rubbish, and the third one is, like I said, a bit meh. But the fact is, they were willing to back new ideas. I mean, they were a bit reluctant with Deadpool, but they got it out in the end. $60 million, made nearly $1 billion. Do you know what I mean?
Cost effectiveness.
Exactly. I mean, it can be done. Do you know what I mean? It can be done. I don't know how much. To be honest with you, I can't be asked looking it up. I don't know how much it made in the cinema, but I'd say, like, judging by the divisiveness of the reaction to it, I think it probably didn't do very well. It probably didn't make it.
Which one?
The Walter Mitty.
I don't think he did. He saved his budget.
Well, it probably made its budget back. It probably like broke even, but I wouldn't imagine it went on to do gangbusters.
No.
But then again,
shame.
It is a shame, and I think hopefully, like I said, hopefully with this podcast, maybe we can kind of elevate its.
Not with the audience. No, we don't have the audience for that.
But who knows? In 5 years' time, people might kind of come back on this podcast and watch it.
Yeah, in 5 years' time, if we get more people views, I'll talk about again to watch a Mitty.
Yeah, I think not in 5 years' time. I think I'm not going to watch it again for the podcast.
No, I'm not going to watch it again. I'm just going to mention it again.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely mention it, and who knows? In 5 years' time, when people look back on our podcast, maybe they might think, okay, oh yeah, the Walter Mitty movie. Well, I might go and check it out. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really good. I think it's really good, and I wish there was more movies like that out there. And if there are movies out there, like
There's a lot like this. There's
Yeah.
a lot like this. I should show you more like that. To be fair.
well,
there's-
yeah. Well, I think, to be honest, I think the one thing I think we've both got in common, really, I mean, we both enjoy cinema.
Mhm.
You know, and most of the time when we recommend a movie to each other, like I'd say more often than not, we get it more or less right.
Yeah, there's a moment of, like, maybe except for
Event Horizon.
not the French Dispatch.
Oh yeah,
It's like I was there, I was focused, I stay on it, I analyzed
asleep.
everything, and you fall asleep. It's not your fault. That's why
Yeah.
I don't say that. It's not your fault. And sometimes the movie failed to grab you. You know, like
yeah, but that's the great thing about
like
art.
it's like sometimes it doesn't catch you. Sometimes it just grab you. Like, you know, there's a song that's just like don't make like it's not important. Just I don't care about that song now. But later when you watch it, you listen to it again. It's like okay, I dig it now.
Or sometimes, like, I mean, I've never really been big into albums. I mean, I used to have quite pretty big CD collection back in the day, and I do have I reckon I've got a fairly decent sized collection of music on my Apple Music. But I'm not one of these people who like listens to albums, you know, all the way through.
I did this for my last album that I listened to the way through and do back and forth and stuff. That was this one here. But like, I'm sorry, John.
No worries, don't.
This one here. I bought the vinyl because it was the 10 years anniversary of it. It was also released in 2013. 2013 is a very important date for me. So it's Random Access Memory from Daft Punk. Get Lucky. Was it like there's one, The Touch. I really like it. It's a very cool song. I really like it, and all the album is great.
Yeah,
And it's one of the albums I listened from the beginning and listened to the end.
yeah. I mean, I haven't done that in years, and I think the main reason for it is because, like, I've had this discussion with people before. Like, well, people, you know, oh, you've got to listen to the entirety of the album because it's an artwork in itself. I don't look at albums like as a singular artwork. I look at them like galleries. You know, when I go around a gallery, even if it's like a show of one person's work, some of their work is going to draw me more than others. So when I look at an album, when I listen to an album, some tunes are going to grab me and hold my attention. Other tunes, not so much. And I think, you know, that's perfectly right. How you choose to listen to music is how you choose to listen to music. How you choose to appreciate art is how you choose to appreciate art. What movies you watch or what movies you watch. And I think, like, in the main, that's fine. Like, and I think it's also fine for people to have their own opinion of it. I mean, the one thing I don't like, there's two. I don't like gatekeepers. I don't like people turn around saying what art is and what it isn't, because at the end of the day, art is subjective. Taste in art is subjective. What is art is subjective. I think anything created is art, right? Even AI art. I may despise AI art,
But I think it's like not art is subjective,
yeah.
but I appreciate work put into something.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, I will appreciate somebody who have a vision and wanted to do this way, had used technique and stuff like that, you know, and by what they did, they succeed to give the message that they wanted to give.
Yeah, but I think also, like, I mean, whether
But if you fail any of those category, if you don't send any message to it, if you didn't have any technique, if you didn't think about what you were doing, you just did that randomness, you know,
yeah,
like throwing paint on the canvas and just say
Jackson
call
Pollock.
it for the day, like, you know.
yeah. I mean, like,
If you didn't even like choose the color, you basically said, "I'm going to take this." Others like, "Oh, I'm going to grab this, going to grab this."
Yeah.
Done.
look, Jackson Pollock made a fucking career out of doing that. I mean, his action paintings. Like, I'm not a big fan of Jackson Pollock. Sorry, America, but I just am not. And the fact of the matter, you know, but he made a fucking career out of doing that, man.
For example, Picasso with the crying lady, you know, like he was abusing his partner at the time, and he made this painting of her crying. I think there's like it's a douchebag of a move. I think it's
He was a bit of a douchebag.
She I think she died. She killed herself. I think like that. Something
Oh,
like
God
that.
bless, man.
But we talk a lot of Picasso, but like it was a douchebag.
Oh no, he was a douchebag, but he was a complete
It's
colossus.
the most influence like thing. So maybe it doesn't resonate with you, like it doesn't resonate with me at all. But I appreciate that he has a vision, and he has he has vision and technique, and
Well, I agree. I'm not the biggest fan of Picasso's work, but I do recognize the influence he's had on art.
Yeah,
and I do
Monet, for example, like Monet can not be for everybody. Like, you cannot resonate with Monet. Like me, when I see one of his work, well, I show you the lady with the veil and the wind, like, and when I see that painting, just like fuck, like amazing.
But the things I agree. I think it's an amazing painting too, and the reason why I think it's such an amazing painting is because, like, when you actually look at like he didn't use, relatively speaking, he didn't use like a huge amount of like brush strokes. A lot of that was captured like with basically like minimal brush strokes, minimal use of paint, and the way he's able to do it, it's breathtaking. It's amazing what he's able to do. Like, not all art has to be accurate, not all art has to be exactly representative. It's like, a lot of people turn around and say, "Oh yeah, it's not a paint." My cat could do that.
But like,
I don't like that attitude either. I mean,
I used to work in a gallery, and now the only thing they're showing is like a shade of color on the canvas,
like Mark Rothko,
just like a blue, gray, yellow. It's basically, and some people look like, "Oh fuck, I love it. It's going to look great in my living room."
Yeah,
and it's there's nothing in it. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of that kind of stuff I find, right, when it comes to that kind of artwork, whether it's Mark Rothko or other artists of that ilk.
Well, there's a lot of them, like, it's everywhere now.
But the thing is, like, most of that stuff is like, it's about an atmosphere. It sets an atmosphere in the room, but it doesn't draw you closer. It doesn't make you want to investigate. It doesn't want to make you like look at how it was produced. It's just like blank color. It's just a flat color on a canvas.
Or it's just a shade of blue on a canvas.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. A flat color, one color on the canvas,
or 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a pattern. It's there to set a mood. But is it art? Yeah, it is art.
That's what the movie French Dispatch talk in the first short. Like, it is art. Like,
yeah, exactly. I mean, and like art. It is one of those things, like, art is subjective. It's always going to be subjective, and people are going to disagree and discuss and fight over what is art, what isn't art. They're going to fight over and discuss about, who's the greatest artist of all time. And if your answer isn't Caravaggio, you're wrong.
It's not a competition.
No, it's not. It's not a competition. At the end of the day, creativity is creativity. It's not something that can be kind of collated in a numerical fashion. Everyone has their tier lists, as they have these days.
So that I never did any concours, like concours. No, I'm looking for the word. Do you know, like photography? Event, or do you know, like concours? Fuck. Do you know when they decide who's the best picture, stuff like that?
Yeah.
How do you call it when you like a competition?
Competition.
Yeah, photography competition. I never do a photography competition because that's completely unfair. Do you know?
Yeah.
It's putting like, oh, this art is better because I say so.
Yeah.
Like,
that's bollocks.
That's bollocks. Like, every art is subjective, and every art is like should be respected the same way. It's for that Love Thunder. It's still art at the end of the day. It's still art.
It is still art.
It is still art. It didn't resonate with me, no. But I acknowledge it that ideas were made, acting was done, and photography was been taken.
And creativity was employed.
And creativity was employed, and special effect was employed, and like music was involved as well.
Exactly.
I mean, like
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses, like,
love Guns N' Roses.
And do you know what? Yeah, of course. But like, it was. Love and Thunder fell for me short. It fell short.
It didn't even fall short. It fell way fucking behind for me.
Just like, you could have. Look, if you just, I don't know. Did you give me everything you could do? Is that what you could have done?
No, as we said in the previous podcast, a lot of that. Like, again, right. So with What Mitty and with Thor: Love and Thunder. Sorry, my hand's a bit swollen at the moment. All right, where these two films very much diverge. All right, What Mitty had a set budget. It had a story it wanted to tell.
And the budget won't move.
The budget won't move. Right. The budget is the budget. It had a very clear creative vision. It knew the boundaries it had to work towards, and it created a quality film.
And the special effect team were giving the time, I suppose. They were giving the time they need, and the thing,
with incredibly high production values, and it shows. And it was made for. And then you got Thor: Love and Thunder, which is basically chewing gum. You chew it up and you spit it out. There was no like a lot of it was kind of like it was inconsistent. It wasted some of the most amazing acting talent. It was all over the fucking place. It was very inconsistent. At times it looked fucking cheap, and yet it cost $250 million. Doesn't make any fucking sense to me, right? So, and this is the thing that I harp on about so much in these podcasts, is that if you've got a clear budget, if you've got a clear creative vision, if everyone's going in the same direction, amazing things can happen. All right, not everyone loved the movie. I did. I thought it was fucking fantastic. You did too. Like
some people did. It's a very, like, you could see like the audience score was very high. Compared to the
critic score. And the thing is, like, I thought, you know, and I appreciate that. You know, you can see that how well how the craft in that film, the quality of the film. Whereas with I just don't understand how $250 million film can look so cheap. And the inconsistency. Sometimes it actually looked fantastic. I mean, especially at the end when, like, I think anything that was set in stone looked good. Anything that was like riffed on, anything that was reshot, anything that was redone and rejigged and fucked about with, it looked fucking atrocious. And this whole kind of fix it in post mentality that seems to be very much have kind of crept into Hollywood over the last 10, 15 years.
I mean, more than that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's always been there. I mean, you fix it in the edit, but you can't always fix it in the edit. You can't always fix it in post. You need to have the more you have, and again, like, there are acts of God. There are times when, like, things happen that you just cannot fucking help. You know, whether, you know, like COVID, for instance,
an actor that died.
Or an actor
like
that dies.
Gladiator. I'm talking about Gladiator.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. When Laurence Olivier died, that's right.
Yeah, passed away.
And they had to kind of they had to reshoot the movie in order, or reshoot, rejig, and mess
change the light around.
Yeah.
Take a movie that was shot at the daytime and make it nighttime.
Yeah. And another great example, The Crow. Brandon Lee was shot during the production of that movie. They still somehow managed to fucking salvage that. Not just salvage it, but make a good movie out of it.
I never watched it.
I haven't watched it. I loved it as a teenager. I loved the comic book as well. But John O'Barr, the original comic book writer and artist, there are you had sometimes things like that happen. Cannot fucking be helped.
You're doing a movie in the I don't know, like New Mexico, stuff like that. There's a storm going on. That's what happened for Don Quixote. I think Don Quixote,
yeah.
Don Quixote, like storm and thing going on.
Sometimes these things happen, but the thing is, like, more often than not, like 99 times out of 100, exceptions aside, like, if you've got a very clear idea and a clear vision on what you want to execute on, and you got and you know your limitations, then you will, more often than not, you'll achieve what you're able to achieve.
Yeah.
But if you have unlimited resources and are just like, oh, fuck it, we'll just do it later, or sort it out later, or work this out later, then it's going to show in the final product.
And do you know, like, some out of restraint, like, for example, Everything Everywhere All at Once, all the special effects were made by 5 guys that didn't know anything about special effect.
Fuck in hell.
Yeah, they just learn on the job to do what they have to do.
Sometimes it does work out. Who knows?
Or they maybe have the knowledge of special effects or stuff like that, or editing software or stuff like that. But they say, let's try that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, sometimes
you just have to go for it. You just have to jump on the plane and just go.
Yeah.
I think. Do you have anything else to say?
How long have we been going?
Been going for an hour now.
An hour. I don't. All right, then tell you what we'll do. I think.
No, we can continue. I cannot stop recommending that movie.
Look, I'll tell you what we'll do is this, right? I think, you know, in terms of the recommendation of the movie, I recommend it wholeheartedly. If I was to give it a score, I'd probably give it high 8s, low 9s.
9.
Yeah?
Yeah, 9. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, I think so. I think it looks fantastic. It's beautifully done. I think Ben Stiller is a surprisingly good director.
Yeah, a lot of actors are a good director. Yeah,
and I think, like, you know, you got. I mean, it doesn't have a massive cast. It doesn't have but you know, the actors does have Sean Penn, Christina Wiig, Ben Stiller himself. I think, it looks fantastic. Great performances all around. Wonderfully understated performances, I would say. Especially given how some of the action in the movie is a little bit bananas.
Bananas, yeah.
To say the very least. But the fact that they still maintain this kind of understated tone throughout the entirety of the film, I think is to its credit. I can't recommend it highly enough. I mean, if you haven't seen it already, it's on Disney Plus.
It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I'd say so. Go check it out, man.
And that was a movie that people in COVID-19 should have watched.
I'd say a lot of people did.
Yeah, to just boost themselves up. Like, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to take my life in my hand. Like,
Yeah, and not only that. I mean, like if sometimes like life takes you on, like life does take you in unexpected ways.
Yeah, but like if you just don't do anything, just doing the same thing all over again until.
Sometimes you just got to give it a punt, man. Have a go, like what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Setting up a podcast. Setting up a YouTube channel. Who knows?
Spend a lot of money on microphone.
Spend a lot of money on cameras and laptops. I mean, the amount of money me and you've spent on getting this venture going has been pretty eye-watering to say the very least.
I'm working for it.
Well, look, we're both working for it, and fingers crossed, this venture will take us to places hitherto unknown.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, should we round it out?
I think we should round it out.
Let's round it out. Everybody, thank you very much for taking part today. We do appreciate your attendance and your attention. My name's been John Clare.
I've been Roman Prish.
This has been the Post Watch Post Mortem, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Farewell.
Fare thee well, mine friends.
So long. Farewell.